maybe slightly uncomfortable at first, but this is something that we're also going to work into. It does not have to be, we don't have to force this movement. I'm gonna pull my hands up just a little bit, just so I have a little bit more opening in my hips. I wanna set up in a butterfly position, and I wanna set myself up against a wall or a box or something that can serve as keeping me upright. So the focus here is we're gonna take some dumbbells, kettlebells, anything that you're gonna need. I have a couple 5 pounds here. The goal is, this weight doesn't necessarily need to be heavy. What we're focusing on is squeezing our glutes to pull our knees towards the ground. So I'm gonna push into my feet a little bit. I'm gonna squeeze my butt so that I'm able to pull my knees towards the ground, aside from the weight that's being pushed down on my legs, right? So right now, I'm kind of shaking, got my glutes activated, firing, and I'm trying to pull my knees to the floor rather than having the weight do it for me. Now the weight is there just to assist, so I just see my knees kind of pop back up after I relax. And that's the focus with this, is that we start to activate the glutes to do the work for us, so that we're not only relying on a passive range of motion. So because we get too caught up in being flexible, which is great, but if we don't have strength in those flexible positions, then we become hyper flexible, and that's where we start to have injuries, and we lack strength in those areas, and that's where that mobility and strengthening those passive ranges needs to come into play. And so this is part of that. So this weight on the knees is to help you with that, just to help give you that little bit of a nudge, so that you're not straining too hard in the glutes. You can actually focus, as this weight's pushing down, I can focus more on squeezing my glutes, pushing into my feet, and focusing on actually squeezing and contracting, while the weight helps me to get that stretch, helps to pull my knees lower down to where I'm aiming for, and it gives my muscles that time to work that position as well. I'm just gonna sit, hold, so you see my knees kind of, they're just fighting back and forth. I'm squeezing hard, and you can give as much or as little weight as you need. Squeeze the butt, keep holding. Now for each set, there will be a recommended time, so I'll have either a certain number of reps, but each rep will also be attached with a number of seconds that you're gonna hold this squeeze. So here I'm going for about 15 seconds. Typically we're gonna work about maybe 5 to 10, and then gradually work ourselves up to a higher count. Right, and there's your weighted butterfly, very simple. You can go as heavy as you feel comfortable with in this position, but like I said, it will take some time to get comfortable with it. So just be aware of that as well. Don't feel like you have to be at a certain point. If your butterfly position may be a little bit further out, that's totally fine. We're working with progressions from where you are currently to build you up to get some more flexibility in your hips.